What does it mean to rise above your OCD theme? And why would that be important? Jackie came to see me because she had relationship OCD, ROCD, and it was really putting her marriage into jeopardy. She did very well with ERP, but then she described thoughts about sexual orientation OCD. She did great with ERP again, and then she started struggling with scrupulosity. What do you think was going on there? Hi, I'm Paige Pradko, a psychotherapist that specializes in treating people with OCD, health anxiety, and anxiety disorders. Welcome to Therapy for a Better Life. If you're wondering if you might have OCD, I left you a free self-assessment in the description below. So what was happening with my client, Jackie? Well, Jackie has what OCD therapists call whack-a-mole syndrome. Whack-a-mole is when there's one OCD subtype theme that's treated and then another one pops up. So have you ever noticed that your OCD theme changed? Or maybe it used to be one thing when you were younger and then it changed. Or maybe you have several themes going on at the same time. And your OCD theme is actually centered around your content, what bothers you, the specific subject matter of your obsessions and mental or physical compulsions. Now, it's very common for people to have several OCD themes, and some people even experience this very rapid cycling and rapid changing of themes. So why would I suggest that you rise above the OCD theme? Now, the core of OCD are threats, something that scares you, and it puts you into a state of relentless doubt. Then it manipulates you and it trains you to respond in very specific ways. OCD wants you to respond now. It has an urgency to it, wants you to do it now. Now, there is that sudden rush of adrenaline and the fear hits you. That's norepinephrine. It's a hormone released as a result of your amygdala being activated in your brain. But your OCD has trained you to do certain things and get that anxiety and discomfort to calm down. But OCD doesn't care about your themes, doesn't care about your content at all. OCD is a disorder, and everyone has slightly different content, slightly different fear triggers, things that bother them. OCD is a disorder. It doesn't care what your theme you have. It just grabs your attention and it controls you and it tries to convince you to do something to make the anxiety go away. Now, when you respond to the OCD, you're training your brain to make your OCD stronger. If I wash my hands like this, if I tap 3 times, if I turn this light switch on and off, if I analyze it, if I say something positive, it'll cancel that out. If I walk into the building again, maybe I'll get that just right feeling. These are all compulsions. These are made up little behavior experiments. And as soon as you notice your anxiety going down, your brain says, oh, aha, that worked. And it associates it with the OCD. And then it wants you to repeat that ritual over and over again. So you never gave yourself a chance to learn that that anxiety, that discomfort would have come down on its own anyway. Now, those little behaviors that develop into compulsions and rituals and give your OCD power, they are just like giving your dog a treat. He will want that treat. If you give him a treat when he sits, he wants that treat every time. OCD wants those behaviors every time. It knows how to create doubt in you. It knows how to train you to respond in specific ways. The specific theme doesn't matter at all. OCD works the same way regardless of what your specific content, whether it's contamination or just right feeling or checking or relationship doubt. It doesn't matter. You know this logically, that OCD is OCD, but you still may be stuck in your theme and you don't know how to get out of it. But there's an answer. First, you get unstuck from your theme, and your content with ERP, and then you gradually incorporate and shift to a more global treatment approach to OCD. Once you make this shift, your theme no longer has control over you. So I have a method for doing this. First, I teach you how to do an easy to follow 3-step process for ERP, exposure and response prevention, so that you can get unstuck from your content and that OCD theme. And then you gradually incorporate a more global treatment approach to OCD. The more global macro approach includes incidental ERP, like the I.A.M treatment. I.A.M, it's an acronym. The I stands for identify. A stands for allow it to be there in the background. The M stands for shifting your attention to something else in the moment and moving on. Notice that the I.A.M approach does not recognize your theme at all. It's not important in your recovery. You have to separate yourself from responding to your theme. The I.A.M method is a global approach, and it gives you a technique to use whenever your OCD pops up. In any form, it doesn't matter if the theme changes or not. You always know what to do. The I.A.M method separates you from the OCD just by identifying the thought, the image, the sensation as OCD. It reminds you not to respond to it or attend to it. This is actually a method of keeping you in response prevention. Do you remember my client Jackie? The one that seemed to be playing whack-a-mole with her OCD themes? Well, Jackie shifted to identifying her doubt and her what-if thoughts as OCD. Then she used the I.A.M method every time she noticed the doubt and shifted her attention in the moment and moved on. This is a more global approach to treating her OCD, and it took Jackie above her content, prevented her from checking her emotions, or ruminating, or questioning her thoughts, or trying to answer her what-if questions, and kept her from seeking safety and reassurance. So the global approach using the I.A.M method helped her to maintain her response prevention and not do her compulsions. I realize that right now you may feel exhausted, frustrated, stuck in your theme, and you don't know how to stop compulsing or to shift out of it. This is where most everyone is at the beginning. You're not alone. You're right where you should be. I will walk you through what to do. Even though I'm going to be encouraging that eventual shift, rising above, I first want to help you get unstuck from your subtypes of OCD, from your OCD themes in my course. I cover ERP treatments for 16 different themes in this OCD course, and I help you develop specific ERP plans to get you unstuck from those themes. But because of the nature of OCD, I encourage you to vary your ERP by adding in days where you only use the I.A.M method while staying in response prevention. So my clients actually prefer these kind of global incidental ERP days versus their planned exposures. So here you'll be rising above your OCD themes by not responding to your content, shifting to this more global protocol for OCD. This is where you eventually want to go in your treatment to have lasting response prevention strategies and sustained recovery. So if you're wondering if you have OCD, I left you a free self-assessment in the description below this video. And if you need help for OCD, please leave me a message on PaigePradko.com. Until next time, I will see you in session. Take care. Bye-bye.